Greetings from Pennsylvania once again, and we are back home. Yeah, earlier this week, well today's Thursday, actually May 1st, first day of May, but earlier this week we were out in Somerset and Bedford counties. Had a great trip out there. Hiking, filming, camping, all kinds of stuff. We're back home, back at Blue Marsh, a familiar place. It's an absolutely beautiful day. But we're going to be hiking what I call the Northern Loop. I parked at the church slot area. And it's like a 7-8 mile loop that goes north up towards Burnville and it comes down the other side of the lake. I used to do it every year in the spring this time of year, but I don't think I did for the past 2 years. But a little bit of traffic down there initially, road's right down there. But yeah, so many beautiful flowers are blooming. Birds are singing. We'll get away from the traffic noise in a bit here. Beautiful day. So we're gonna be looking for wildflowers, just listening to the birds sing, just see whatever else we can find. Here's our May apples. Are they blooming yet here? I saw a video where they were blooming already, but I don't see. Here we go. Yeah, oh, it's getting ready to bloom. That's the bud right there, but not yet. I was watching it was a PA Creek Walker. A little bit further southeast of here, they were blooming in her video. Not here yet at Blue Marsh. You can see the lake down there. So yeah, so 7-ish miles this loop is, I think. Just gonna take my time. There's gonna be thunderstorms later today, but probably not towards evening, so we'll be safe. Don't want to really get caught out here in a thunderstorm. I was considering heading out today to do another section of the Standing Stone Trail. I know I haven't done a section on that trail for quite a while. There's been reasons for that though. But I just wasn't feeling it today. Partially because the thunderstorms were going to ride out that way earlier. I don't want to be on a mountain when the thunderstorms come through. But I might do that tomorrow though, head out that way. Pick that trail up again. But the birds are singing. There's some flowers up here. Let's see what they are. Maybe I should have you guys guess what they are first before I tell you what they are. Let's try that, huh? Like a little quiz. What are these? There's poison ivy right here too, but I don't really get poison ivy. Yeah, what are these? Let me zoom in on just a little bit. I'll give you a minute to guess. Yeah, a whole bunch of them here. Oh, look at them all over here. There's a beautiful patch of them. Look at that. They're white with there's a little bee inside that one. That's cool. He likes them too. Little pink stripes inside there too. If you guessed Spring Beauty, you are correct. I guess you can give yourself a point. Maybe we'll do a quiz, I don't know. I wasn't really planning on it at the beginning, but there's some more flowers up here. So question number 2 maybe? Hey, look at all this poison ivy. All these brand new shiny leaves. But let's do these right here. I talk about these often in my videos. What's this right here? You can see the plant growing up. Some more of it right here. What is that? I'll give you a minute. If you guessed garlic mustard, you are correct. I often point out it's an invasive species. It tends to take over an area. Mile marker 14. Keep an eye on those mile markers. Yeah, garlic mustard. So there are a lot of these May apples. And we're gonna keep our eyes open for one that is blooming. I've seen a couple that were just about in full bloom. They have beautiful big white flowers, but they kind of hide under the leaf. I showed you that one bud earlier. I see a bud up there. It's not open yet, but all right. Well, maybe another day or two. Like I said, maybe there'll be one early one somewhere. You know, one thing I like about this trail is you're in the woods, then just like that you're out like in an open area, then you're back in the woods again. So there's like a variety of, you know, habitats you get to walk through. Oh, squirrel. You saw him up there. Well, I was right. I thought we might find one that's blooming. This patch here is in the sun a little bit. Sure enough, I see one blooming there, but right up under here, you'll see, let's push this away. There it is, check it out. There, hold on, it cooperates. Hold on, there's the Mayflower. Beautiful white with the yellow anthers. Yeah, so they are blooming. Some places. Cool. Beautiful. That made my day. One of my favorite plants. And here we have these guys again. Oh, we have some flowers over here. You know, I'm not sure offhand what these are. They look like some kind of cherry blossoms. Here's what the leaves look like. Maybe some kind of service berry or something like that. Yeah, something that I'm not sure what they are. It looks like they look like cherry though. What was I pointing out? Oh yeah, up here, these tent caterpillars. Oh my, look at all of them. I've showed them earlier videos. Oh, there's a little egg sac right there. Some insects, but anyway, look at all of them on their little nest. That protects them during the day. It's just loaded with them. Then at night they go. You can see where they're eating all the leaves here. They can be quite destructive. Hey guys. Oh, they didn't like that. Yeah, they wiggle around and everything. Okay, they're all over the place. There's one down there. Yeah. Tent caterpillars, because they make those tents. Oh, here's a flower I do know. These yellow ones. Can you guess what these are? I'll give you a closer look. Maybe I should be quizzing myself. I didn't quite know what those other ones were, but yeah. Do you know what these are? Yellow with 4 petals. That's what the leaves look like. That is celandine, not the lesser celandine, which we showed a lot of earlier. That grows low to the ground. I believe this is an introduced species too. That is celandine. Yeah, I know a lot of the plants and wildflowers out here, but I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know everything, so I'm always learning too yet. I think it's a good attitude to have in life, is always be willing to learn. Occasionally, well, more than occasionally, you come across people who don't think they need to learn anything anymore, if you know what I mean. They tend not to be the most pleasant people to be around. But anyway, yeah, you're never too old to learn. You just continue on the trail. I looked over here. Not flowers anymore, but these are bloodroot. Well, they are bloodroot. This is what the leaves look like. The flowers, they're those white flowers that come up real early in the spring. The leaves are not as obvious then, but then here later in the spring, the leaves become much more pronounced once the flowers are done. Yeah, it's bloodroot. Yeah. And just looking over here, here's more of that garlic mustard. You can see all of this is garlic mustard here. All of this. You can see how it just takes over. That's why it's invasive. That's what the damage it does. It kind of crowds out other native species. But unfortunately, it's here to stay. There's no getting rid of it. We got a butterfly. I believe that's a sulfur. They're not native either, but they're still pretty. I think that's what there's the clouded and the non-clouded variety. I think if there's like a row of brown on the wingtips, it's the clouded sulfur, if I remember correctly. But yeah. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, and here we are on one of the old roads through the park. You know, people used to live back here. I mention that every now and then when I'm here at Blue Marsh. I think last time I was here, I saw a snake up here, kind of like sunbathing on the road. We'll see today, though, if we find one. I think there's some old foundations up here, too. Here, look at this beautiful splash of violet. These are violets. Those are intense colors. Wow. I haven't seen my favorite this year yet with the violets, the white ones with like the blue centers. But these are beautiful. Yeah, our trail is going to leave the road here in a little bit. I think there's a nice little stream down, nice little break spot we're going to take down there. Yeah, the trail goes off right in there. Yeah, the sounds of the birds is just wonderful. Yeah, right up here's a bridge. Looks like they worked on this a little bit since last time. But I'm going to take a little break right here. Yeah, I can see remnants of the old bridge off to the side. They didn't bother to take them out of here, which is a complaint, not just an observation. I'll show you in a little bit what they did. Anyway, it's a nice little spot to take a break. Yeah, so here's the new bridge and the new little, what do we call it, ramp. But here we can see, this is the old bridge. You can see the old decking right there. I guess they had used that as to go across. The same with this piece over here. But yeah, I mean, just kind of left it here. Because, you know, right up there, you can all see the road right there. Right there's a parking area. They could have taken this out. I know it'll rot and decay, but they always talk about, you know, picking up trash out yourself, leave no trace, but then they just leave the remnants of the old bridge out here. Kind of seems a bit contradictory, I guess I would say, you know. Anyway, just a thought. You can let me know what you think in the comments. I feel like when you put the new bridge in, you can take the old remnants out, especially when the parking area is just, you know, 100 feet down the trail. Anyway, it doesn't really matter in the end, I guess. Beautiful spot, though. And just another warning, there's some more complaining coming up here. I hate when they do this too, they just throw the concrete bags down and don't even, yeah, like mix them or anything, because you can see it's not lasting, they're already crumbling. They don't last that way, and they just left the paper on them too. You know, guess where this paper goes? When it falls off, it ends up as trash out here, you know, which I feel like is very double standard. You know, if you leave trash out here, they're gonna fine you or whatever, but I don't know. All these bags had paper on them. Guess where that paper is now? It's out here somewhere. But yeah. Yeah, look at this. They used it as a foundation, but it's already cracking and crumbling. So I don't know. Anyway, just some more complaining. But anyway, let's get back to the beauty of the trail. I'm not trying to be negative, folks, but like I said, I don't like double standards. They're always so, like I said, they're always so big on leave no trace and clean up after yourself, but then they leave all that basically, you know, garbage behind. kind of a shoddy job there. Sorry if you're the person that made that, but yeah. Anyway, let's let that go. I'm seeing and hearing some very big ripples out there. So I'm gonna hang out here for a little bit to see what's making it. Maybe we'll try and edge a little closer. Oh, I see. Oh, I think it's carp. I see splashing up at the edge there. Let me zoom in way up there. Where is that happening? Over there? Some kind of splashing going on. Now it's not. Yeah, there's lots of splashing going on. I think there are carp. I know they do that. I think it's mating season. You know, they get a little excited, shall we say. Huh. But I'm pretty sure that's what's going on down there. Make a lot of noise. Check it out. That's a goldfinch. American goldfinch. Oh, flew off. And I'm pretty sure that's the first goldfinch I've ever gotten on camera. They don't sit still in one place for too long. I always try to get, you know, new pictures and footage of birds I don't have before, but that might be the first one. They're beautiful. That beautiful yellow with the black markings. All right. Yeah, those carp are still make a ton of noise down there. First I thought it was like maybe like a beaver or something down there, but it's just carp. They're invasive species too. So many invasive species. I might make a video on that one day. Talk about them. The different invasive species and the impact they have and how the ecosystem adapts to that kind of stuff. That might make a good video actually. All right, just making my way up the first of several big hills on this trail. As always, the camera doesn't really show how steep it is, but we're almost at the top of this one. Get some views up here too then. And a nice cool breeze up here too. Yeah, I did say it's gonna get to about 75 today. It's not that hot right now, but it's getting warm. And after hiking up that hill, this breeze feels great. You can see a little bit of the lake out there. That's where he started the trails, way out there somewhere. All right, back in the woods, and the trail is going to take us down, down, down. See the lake out there. You might be able to hear a little bit of traffic from Route 183. But then I think once we make it down, the big hill is coming. I call it the big hill, the never-ending hill. Slightly exaggerated, but it feels like that when you're going up. This is beautiful. Oh, you know, I forgot to take I always take a break at this spot up here. So as soon as I first come in, there's like a log up there I sit on. Forgot to do that this time. Oh well. That's okay. There's a beautiful section through here. Much cooler in the forest too. There's mile marker 16. So we've gone maybe like 2.5 miles. I don't remember seeing mile marker 15, but so we still got a little ways to go. But it's a great day to be out here. I haven't quizzed you for a little while here either yet, but my mind gets to thinking about other things too while I'm hiking. Thinking about that invasive species video. Definitely gonna make one. I don't think I ever did one before. Just a really interesting topic. Like I said, to talk about the different ones and how over the time the ecosystem has adapted, and in some cases how it hasn't, and how it's affected things. Mistakes that have been made from man trying to deal with them. Some have been some pretty horrific mistakes. Yeah. Just even other videos talking about seals in Pennsylvania. Recently I was down in Delaware on that little boat ride to see the seals, but we don't realize that there were seals. You could at one time find seals in Pennsylvania. I feel like making a video about that too. Maybe you will again. Actually, I think they found one in the 50s in the Delaware River, but someone shot it, which is typical, at least back then. Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff to film and talk about. Ooh, more May-apples. Here's a whole forest of May-apples again. And they're blooming here too. There's one that's just starting to bloom. And here's one in full bloom. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful flowers. All right. Alright, but here's a plant to quiz you on. I think I just talked about these recently on my Mason-Dixon Trail series. I showed you some of these and how they flower. These aren't flowering, but they have, oh, there's one. They are flowering. There's a flower down here at the very bottom. Right there. See that right there? Right there's the flower. I talk about how they're pollinated by beetles and how the ants then come and take the little fruits it produces. They take it back to their nest. That's how they spread the seeds. Do you remember what this was? I'll give you a moment to think about it. It's wild ginger. Although it's not even in the ginger family, but it gets called wild ginger because I think the leaves resemble ginger, or maybe the roots do, but it's not actually ginger. It has some edible and medicinal properties, but you gotta be careful with it because it can harm you too if you're not careful how you use it. It has sent people to the hospital who have used it incorrectly. He's enjoying those. Oh, yeah, he's enjoying those flowers. He almost flew off there. Now there he goes. Yeah, the trail brings us down into this valley. You can see the lake out there. Here's some of the traffic noise too, but up here's the big hill. I think our trail goes out and it starts going all the way up. We'll take a break at the top. Well, let's see if you know what this plant is right here. Look at this guy. Look at the little flowers hanging down below. Up here too. This long, slender stalk. And the flowers underneath. Little, I don't think maybe they're blooming yet. It's a plant that looks similar to this, but it has flowers at the edge. But this is the true variety of it. This is Solomon's seal. It's a very medicinal plant. I think I made a video on it years ago. I think it's called Solomon's seal because of its medicinal property, you know, kind of based off of the knowledge of King Solomon. But I thought I just heard people up there. Anyway, but the root, some people say it's because of the root. The root looks like some seal, like the seal of King Solomon or something. Not like a seal that you find in the ocean, but anyway. It can be rare in some areas because of that, because it's medicinal. But there's something called false Solomon's seal too, which has flowers at the tip here, and it's a little bit bigger than this. You have that Solomon's seal. Oh yeah, crossing with the valley here. Yeah, I thought I just heard people or something. Anyway, we'll keep our eyes open for the false Solomon's seal. They often grow in the same area. All right, beautiful spot here. This bridge needs a little bit of help. Oh, there's this stuff too. It's not quite blooming yet. They're starting to bloom. This is called sweet cicely. That's what we always called it. You break the stems or the leaves off, even the roots, it smells like black licorice or anise. I think last summer we made a tea from the seeds, which was amazingly or surprisingly like really good. Might try it again this year. That's what this is. All right, but up we go. Let's get to the top of this hill. Yeah, every time I start filming, a plane flies overhead, it seems. Anyway. Yeah, this hill has several false summits. You think you're done, but you're not. So close, but not there yet. Up. And finally it flattens out. Just up here is an overlook where I'll take a break. That's where I always take a break. Yeah, the traffic is noise a lot more pronounced up here, but that's the way it is. Still beautiful out here. This looks like a good spot. Nice little seat here. And we'll take a prolonged break. So we got a steep downhill, a little bit more to go, then we'll cross the bridge over to the other side. It'll be a little bit more noisy over there in spots. It's also a lot flatter over there too. I think I'll have some snacks too. I think I have some alligator jerky in here. Yeah. Buffalo Bob's alligator jerky. That was a gift. Yeah, I had the pemmican variety last time. That was good. Let's see what the alligator's like. If I can get it out. That's a good question. If I can get it out. There we go. That'll do. Alright, so I'm done with my break and I'm headed down the other side of the hill. It's time to... Oh, it flew off. I was going to do one of those things where I zoom in on the butterfly that's super camouflage, but he... I don't know if you saw him fly off. Anyway, he didn't cooperate. You know, check out this tree right here. It's got the red leaves. This is a Japanese red maple. It's obviously not a native species. But there's a number of non-natives up through here. There's some old foundations up there. I filmed other times, like remnants of an old dam up there. But yeah. So someone planned this here years ago. Yeah, I know you can hear the road traffic a lot more now, but just to deal with it. Oh, here's mile marker 17. Yeah, so just up here is the road. It's the Heidelberg Road. Like, so we'll be crossing a bridge up here to the other side soon. There's a nice section through here. Yes, there's a whole bunch of white violets here. You've seen the purple ones today. But then there's these. I forget, is this Lily of the Valley? I forget. Somebody can remind me. I'm not passing my own quiz. But yeah. I forget if these are native or not. I'll have to look those up when I get home. But yeah. Yeah, right up here is the road, and over there is the bridge that we're going to cross in a little bit. See it through the trees there. Oh, look at all the poison ivy too. It's all poison ivy. I know some people just get it by basically just walking past it, but yeah. More beautiful violets. I've seen some of the yellow ones too, but I didn't show those on film. Alright. We'll make our way across. Yeah, so here's a map at this busy spot. There's Old Church Road. There's where I parked. And we came all the way up. Right here is the big hill. We came down. Now we're right here. We just gotta make our way back. And off to our right are remnants of the Union Canal. We filmed here in that series. Of course, now the water levels are up, but during the winter they lower the water levels, and you can actually see remnants of the canal, like right out here. Oh, there's some turtles out there, I think. Right, remnants of the canal right here. I filmed that. I remember it was like a freezing cold day. It was all ice and stuff out here. But there's some turtles out there. Let me see if I can zoom in. I think one jumped into water already. Maybe there's one turtle there. There's some more down here, maybe. Yeah, I think there's one right there. Yeah. Out there enjoying the sun. Yeah, actually the canal was right here. You can see the remnants of the towpath out there, right there. This was the canal. Yeah, a little noisy, but it's a beautiful trail through here though. But there are several sections on this side where the trail veers away from the highway and it gets a lot quieter. So one of those spots where we'll take a break, there's some foundations there where I always sit and take a break. So our moments of quiet, but anyway, it's the way it is. Sometimes. Mile marker 19. So we started about 13 and a half we started at, so yeah, I've come a bit of a distance already. What, like 5.5 miles now? So this section here is pretty cool with all the purple violets and the yellow dandelions. Anyway, we're on a section now. We're starting to veer away from the traffic noise. First of two areas like that on this side here. But I forget where my brake spot is on this one or the next one, but I've been hoofing it pretty much along this side. Just a bit noisy at some sections. Yeah, where there's the boat ramp, the Shady boat ramp, I think it's called. Back to hearing mostly bird songs. Oh, there goes a white heron. Oh, I don't often see those here at Blue Marsh. Just laying in the tree up there. Or is that what they call it? A great egret? I forget now offhand. It's up there in the tree. Can I find it with the camera? Oh, there it is. Probably not going to focus in on it though. I think it's the first I've ever seen one of those here. We see plenty of the great blue herons here. Yeah, I think it's called, what is it, a great egret? I think that's what it's called. Wow. I wonder if there's a nest up there. Cool. think there's some cormorants out there, and then I looked over here. I don't think I've ever seen them here either at Blue Marsh. Oh, the fish just jumped out here. All right, I try to zoom in on the cormorants, get distracted here. Yeah, there they are. The image might get a little more fuzzy and grainy as I zoom in, but I'm pretty sure those are cormorants. Wow. I don't recall seeing them here at Blue Marsh either before. That's interesting. I mean, that's really nice that more and more variety is coming here to Blue Marsh. But that's a good sign. A lot of these are species that suffered, you know, in years past due to habitat loss and just persecution and stuff. I guess you could call it, being shot all the time and stuff like that. And now their populations are recovering more and more, and they're spreading as a species. And the little isolated pockets where, you know, they were only found at one point, now they're spreading back out to areas where they used to be found, you know, decades ago, or, you know, centuries ago in some cases. So that's cool. And just like that, here's my break spot. I almost walked past it. I was talking about the cormorants and stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, someone was here. They didn't take their trash with them. Yeah, there's two foundations here on either side. This one's always been cleared away. Nice little place to sit, so we shall. Like I said, I've been huffing it for quite a few miles here. Ouch! I just sat on those metal pegs. All right. Take that away. There's poison ivy here too. I'll pull that off. I don't really get poison ivy, but I don't really. Anyway. All right. Yeah, this bottle's almost empty. Whew. I just need a break. One bottle gone, but unlike the other day when I was hiking, I did bring a second bottle along. Remember, if you think you're only going to need one bottle of water or whatever it is, bring two. You'll probably need it. But we don't have a whole lot further to go. We're kind of on this loop out here, and then we'll go back up right next to the highway again, and then come back out away from the highway, and then back to where we parked. Alright, but I'm going to chill out here for a little bit, folks. Get a little rest. Alright, well, we will say farewell to our break spot. Yeah, be careful where you sit. I almost sat right on that. That could end badly for you. Alright, let's get going. Don't have too much further to go. But it's nice back here. It smells amazing too. I think these are these, I forget, these honeysuckle or autumn olive, I forget which one they are. But they smell amazing. Alright. Now those are definitely not honeysuckle, now that I think about it. I think these are autumn olive, I think that's what they call them. Although I think I do smell honeysuckle out here. It's blooming this time of year too. Yeah, over here's the honeysuckle. These ones right here. There's different types of honeysuckle. Yeah, this is what's giving off the scent. Alright. Yeah, we're on that second curve away from the highway now. You can still hear it a little bit, but it's really nice back here too. Different places here you can go down right to the lake if you wanted to. So we're closing in on our, you know, on our end here, I guess you could say. It's been a good hike though. Yeah, so I see the bridge up there. Right up there is Church Road. Parking lot is just over the hill here. But I think that'll be it for me then, folks. been a fun hike. Good exercise too. About 7.5 miles on a beautiful day. Yeah, some parts are a little bit noisy, but the whole trail is beautiful today. So much green, so many wildflowers, so many bird songs, scents and everything. So, but I'm almost back. All right, but thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one, wherever that may be.